Sheriff, before the lockup, do you mind telling me who the masked man is? Wouldn't mind at all, except that... Hey, where'd the masked man go?
Yes. Huh? Does your mother sew? Boom! Get her to sew that!
So today, we're going to learn how to make a no-sew mask, right? So this was a mask we made without sewing. And I'll take it off here so I can talk to you guys. Something like that. That's it. That's the mask, right? So the materials you'll need, very simple. You need a scissor, and you need a shirt, right? I'm not going to cut this shirt up. I like the shirt, but you'll need a shirt, and the shirt should be made out of cotton. It's important that it's made out of cotton. Normally, you could check that on the tag. You can normally feel and see that it's made out of cotton. All I've done here, I'll kind of take this apart, is I've cut the shirt into a very specific size, into a piece like that, and we're folding it up. And we're using two other pieces of the shirt to kind of make a tie. So I'll show you step by step how to make this personal protective mask. Let's get started.
Okay. So I'm excited. That was exciting. That was an exciting intro. So we're here, and I have my materials. I have my shirt. I have scissors. I got a marker. You could use a pen or something, just because I might want to mark where I'm going to cut things, and a straight edge. And I mean, instead of using a ruler, I'm just using a letter that I got. So just a few things first. The first thing I did was I cleaned and I sanitized the surface of the table and my hands, right? So this is a personal protective device, and it's important that we keep it clean. Now, if you wanted to do this and then wash it afterwards, that's also an option. And then there's some other things that I'll hyperlink to this video. My wife, Dr. Susanna Hills, did a great series of videos where she does some mask making. Now, I don't know if the mask is as nice as what we're gonna make, but she's better to look at than I am, and way more knowledgeable about why we're using masks and the type of materials, and she has a lot of interesting things. So you should check out those videos. One of the things she mentions is that we're using cotton, right? And why are we using cotton? Just something like a polyester material or a spandex or something like that is it has a tendency to cling, right? So it's going to she'd be a better person to explain it, but it's going to germs, virus particles will stick to that fabric more than it would to cotton. So cotton's a good material to use. Another thing that you should know about making this mask that she explains is that the idea of everyone wearing a mask right now is not necessarily to protect yourself, but to protect other people. So like a cotton mask isn't going to fully protect you from getting a virus or getting a cold, but if everyone's wearing them, then we're able to minimize other people getting sick. So if you're an unknown carrier or something like that, you will not you wouldn't spread the disease, right? So this is something we're doing out of courtesy to each other for the time being when we go outside. So let's get started. This is a nice T-shirt. I'm not going to end up using this one. I just wanted you to see what it looks like having a T-shirt out. Now I cut up a T-shirt before to make the demo, but I have a back side to this, and that's really nice because I can make multiple masks out of one shirt. And these items are single-use items, meaning you can clean them. I shouldn't say single-use. These are reusable, but you should only wear them once, right? So you can make multiple out of one shirt. So that's a nice part of this. So first, I want to come up with my size, and just like I wasn't super scientific with my ruler. For a straight edge, I'm not going to be scientific with the way I measure. The measurement I found that works well, and there's some leeway, is the width or the length of this is going to be from my elbow to my hand. So I could just kind of like look over there, and I'm going to just like make a mark and say, all right, it's about that far, right? And then the width, and I'm doing it from the bottom. There's like kind of like this nice manufactured edge at the bottom to the top is about like my hand, right? And you can think about that. That makes sense. It's going to be a little bit wider than my hand, maybe a little bit longer than my hand to the top. That makes sense because like if I were to cover my face, right, with my hand, it covers the area, right, the size of the hand. So I'm going to say, all right, my hand right about there, right. Now I'm going to maybe I'll make another mark. I'll see. That was right about there. I'll make another mark just so it's straight, right? And I'm going to kind of go across here because I'm going to cut this, but when I pick up the fabric, it's like hard to keep straight, right? So I'm gonna make marks across here, and you kind of see I'm doing like if I go like that, the fabric moves. So I'm just kind of making almost like dotted lines. Cool. Going across dotted lines. Up. Go over to this side. I'm doing the same thing. Right. And now I can cut out my piece, right? So you can kind of, you can see I have these dotted lines on here, and I'm gonna cut that out, right? Using my scissors. Now, when I use my scissors, right, I want to be sure to cut like close to the back of the scissor. If I try to cut towards the front, it's gonna have a hard time cutting the fabric. So cutting from the back of the scissor. And trying to get this as smooth as possible, not having jagged edges, especially when I get to this top area, right? Right? You can see that's a pretty perfect piece, right? About the size of my hand this way, from my elbow to my fingertip that way. Perfect rectangle. I'm gonna set this off to the side. Then I'm gonna go back to my piece of fabric, right? And I'm going to need, I want strips, right? So I need to make like these things, these like strings, right? So I'm going to just kind of cut up here, right where I was from, and I'm gonna cut the same width across from my fingertip to my elbow. I'm gonna cut 2 strips that are exactly, or approximately, 1 inch. And I'd say 1 inch is like maybe a little bit bigger than my thumb, right? So I'm gonna set my thumb on there, and I could do my dotted line thing. This one, if I eye it, that's fine. And I'm gonna cut these strips right here. So I have front part of my face mask. I have a strip like this, and I have a strip like this, right? So these are my basic materials. Now I'm gonna go to these 2 strips. Right now they're kind of like flat, right? They look like like some sort of flat noodle, pappardelle, fettuccine, or something like that, right? I like noodles. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna start like stretching them, right? See how I'm stretching these and kind of twisting and stretching them, and they're gonna get longer. They're gonna get longer, and it's gonna be more like, it's going to turn into almost like a shoelace type thing, right? It's like 1 inch piece of fabric. Something I should mention while I'm doing this, right, is when you choose your shirt, like if you have like a print or something on your shirt, like that feels like very plasticky, you should like avoid that. You should avoid that plastic sort of thing because it's not going to. You need like this cotton fabric to be the dominant thing, right? I mean, I'd imagine if there's like some light lettering that's not like, doesn't feel very plasticky, that'll probably be fine. So you kind of see, right? I have this thing, it becomes like, it kind of changes the whole. Now we're ready to start making our mask. So I'm going to set this down. This is going to be the bottom of our shirt. I happen to use like the part with the seam. The bottom of the shirt will be, it makes for a good bottom of the mask. And we'll use this other. So the bottom of the shirt right here, this is the top of the mask, this is the bottom of our mask. Now all we're going to do is we're going to take these strings we made. Get this to go like that. We're going to lay them kind of in the middle of our piece of cloth. Just like that, right? Makes sense. And I'm thinking, right, this would cover my face about the size of my hand, so I have them about a hand's width apart, about the size we want our mask to be. That's going to be our mask in the middle. Then I'm folding over the edges. Fold that one over. Now, if it were to go all the way over there, say you cut it too long, it's fine. You could always fold it back. But this one seems to fit really nicely. Now we're almost ready to put our mask together. Now I have the ends here, right? I want to tie the top end into a double knot, right? So I'm going to make a double knot, right? I'm going to cross over. So we're just crossing, trying to keep it as close to the tip as possible, going underneath and around. And we have this. We cross again, and this goes through. Hey, there's a cat. Okay, so I have a knot that looks like that.
Okay, so I have my mask here, right? We have everything set up. This area that we tied off on the top is going to go over the back of my head. Then I'm going to tie and cinch this around the bottom area. Now, one thing that I've noticed that is I kind of like to hold on to these front areas so they don't slide through, kind of like when if you slide like a string through your hoodie, that's annoying. So I kind of want to hold on to those, and I'm going to put this around the back of my head, right? So I have this here. My voice will be more muffled. I have this here, and then I'm going to get comfortable with that, and I just pull, and it cinches on the side, which is kind of a cool feature. And you might have to arrange it a little bit better. It cinches on the side, and I'm gonna tie it just in like a regular shoelace loop so I can untie it easy, right? Maybe I'll show off to the side how I did that, right? And I could rearrange my mask. That's it, ready to go outside. Looking forward to seeing your mask. Be sure to send me video clips or a photograph of you wearing your mask, and good luck with this project.